Hello, saints. I was thinking today about that modern day parable of the man who is faced with a flood and out in front of his house pulls up a fire engine, and the firefighters offer to rescue him, and he says, "No, you go on. I know my God will save me." And the flood waters continue to rise, and the man is forced to move to the second story of his home. And out the second story window, he can see a rescue operation coming in a boat, and they offer to take him away to safety, and he refuses the help and says, "No, my God will save me." And then the floodwaters, as they continue to rise, force him onto the roof of his house, and there he sees a helicopter coming to rescue him, and he refuses again and says, "No, no, I know my God will save me." Well, later he gets to heaven, and he is able to ask God, "God, I know you love me. Why didn't you save me from the flood?" And the Lord answers, of course, "I did try to save you. I sent first the fire engine, and then the boat, and then a helicopter, and you every time refused my help." And I think during this time, there could be a parallel. Of course, we don't necessarily need a fire engine or a boat or a helicopter to save us from this virus. But who are those community helpers that God is working through? I think about on the front lines, of course, the healthcare workers, the nurses, and the doctors, those in the labs and in the pharmacies. God has been preparing those people probably since childhood to go into those professions, giving them the gifts that they needed to get the training to become medical professionals. And then I think about the folks that are working on testing vaccines, people who are healthcare professionals or scientists in the government, and the ways that they are trying their best to keep the citizens of their communities, states, and nations safe, and how God is working through their gifts and talents to keep us safe and healthy. And then I think about those that perhaps working behind the scenes, those working on farms, the people who are transporting food, the grocery store workers, the pharmacy techs, the restocking folks that come in, the cleaning crews that are working tirelessly around the clock, the people that are making deliveries to your home, and those that I probably can't even think of right now, and all the ways that God is using them during this time to bring us through this time of pandemic. Um, and I just ask you today to keep them in prayer. Pray for the doctors, the nurses, but as also the scientists, those in the labs, those who are working on solutions, and those who are working to meet our everyday needs, health, food, medicine, and otherwise. It turns out that, a lot of the cases that are continuing to show up are being clustered around those essential workers, and I ask that you would continue to pray not only for their strength and perseverance, but their health and their safety as well. For those who are making masks, those who are manufacturing hand sanitizer, even if it's just in the storeroom of their shop, keep them in prayer that they would continue to be emboldened in their work, because God is working through each and every one of them, and they need our prayer, our support, and our thanks now more than ever.